Like we in the club, fly flashy, grown classy, still turn to the dub. Saturday mornings, no walk of shame, we fresher. 950 lounge, that's my guilty pleasure. I don't miss my favorite show, I put everything on hold. Work the baby, even the babysitter know. When 950 come on, don't bother. I'm locked in 10 to 1, no problem. Turn on the radio. You and I turn on the radio. Yeah.
We're back on the ride now for your lounge live Saturday morning. DSN Network W under the broadcasting. Nationwide Radio, we appreciate you tuning in. Rodeo has joined us in the dunce chair.
I'm in the timeout chair. This is what happens when you come late. They put you in purgatory?
Yeah, purgatory.
Purgatory,
that's right.
Wherever it is, whatever you said, you're in it.
You're in it.
Yeah,
I'm suffocating between these two black men.
That's all right, that's all right.
Rodeo, you have to explain that yourself.
Black Tourette's is here.
No, that ain't Black Tourette's. That's a coming out. That's a R. Kelly
So what you trying to say? You trying to say, son? What you trying to say?
Like two glazed
Listen, R. Kelly got enough problems. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that more.
We're joined by two brothers again. I got to thank these brothers for the last minute move and big shout out to Dawn for making it happen.
Big shout out to Dawn.
Shout out. They got a big film festival in town next week, and there's two companies that have collabed to make this thing work. And I think it's very important that we support black entertainment, independent cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Urban Web Summit and the Hip Hop Film Festival, Mr. Alexis and Mr. James Goodwin. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
There it is.
Yo, thank you for having us.
I saw James
Appreciate it.
outside. You know, I came here early. I'm like, who is this brother with
He
this
was selling
hoodie?
CDs?
No, Ricketts. You know, listen, when I walk out, you know, I'm like,
DM people.
What up? What up? I don't know who it is, and that's why I come upstairs. But again, thanks guys for coming, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm really excited about this festival. I think it touches on what we need. I mean, obviously in our first segment we talked about what's going on in Washington and some of the awarenesses that we need to have. And I think part of doing this summit is kind of taking back and controlling what we can control, our images, the things we want to present. Dallas, I'll start with you. Kind of talk about the collaboration between Urban Web, which I know you started, and what CR started with the film festival.
Okay, pretty much the Urban Web Summit, the collaboration kind of started last year. Because I'm a filmmaker, first and foremost. Been in the TV and film business for over 10 years. Worked at MTV for 6 years. Funny thing, y'all were talking about Trump. I actually worked on The Apprentice for like 4 or 5 seasons.
How was it working?
Oh, damn.
It was cool. He was a cool dude. Like, the only time you really saw him was when it was time for him to kind of shoot his scenes. Like, the bulk of the show was kind of like with the contestants.
Right.
So that was kind of like 90% of the show. Like, you know, the tasks and stuff that the contestants had to do.
Right.
And like, Trump usually came in like once a week to kind of do the boardroom stuff.
Oh, right.
And that's the only time you really see him. That type of stuff, yeah.
Right.
You know, so so we only kind of saw him pretty much once a week, and we always saw him at the rap parties. Like, he came to the rap parties. He kind of he would do a walkthrough, kind of like, you know, do his thing.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. You know what I mean? So he'd walk through and then he'd bounce.
Right.
Yeah, you know, do a walkthrough.
So basically, like what he's doing now. Okay.
You know, you do a walkthrough and bounce. Chappelle show. I worked on a Chappelle show.
That must have been
for a
interesting.
season. It was crazy. I worked on it the actual last season. the tail end of the second season and going into the third
So
season.
how did you feel when he walked away from the $50 million?
I knew it was something behind it, man. Like
Right.
I knew it was just what we saw on the surface.
Right.
I knew it had to be like some kind of stuff in the back, like some. Because
Right.
I know he was. He's a very intelligent brother.
Yeah.
Very smart. You could tell from his comedy, he's very smart, very witty. So I know he wasn't just gonna walk away from it, unless there was some kind of
Detail.
real detail, some real situations happened to make him walk away.
Right.
Right.
And now it's like what 10 years later. I
Right.
think 13
Right.
years
13,
later.
yeah.
About 13, almost 30.
Yeah. So, but then when you hear him talk about it, you go, oh, now I get
Yeah.
why he walked away.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it was cool. You know, he kind of set a really great tone for everybody on the show. He wanted to have a predominantly black production team.
Yeah.
You know, so like it was kind of like 60,
He put
40.
people on the map
Put a lot
with
of
that
people-
Yeah,
show.
he put a lot
Yeah,
of
without
people on.
question.
You know, so it was a great, great thing. So fast forward to as far as how I connected with the Hip Hop Film Festival.
Yeah.
So I actually had a film in the festival last year.
Right.
A film called Lift Every Voice. And what the film was about an English teacher, a high school English teacher who used hip hop to teach English literature to students. So I kind of submitted it to the Hip Hop Film Festival. CR liked it. She screened it. And we kind of became cool.
Bobsy twins saw some similarities.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
cool.
you know, so like a little bit after the festival, I already had the concept for the Urban Web Summit popping. So I'm like, damn, how can I get this off the ground? You know,
Yeah.
I kind of started to lay down the groundwork. I was like, you know what, let me holler at CR and talk to her and kind of tell her what my ideas, tell her what the concept is, and kind of see if she could kind of walk me through it and kind of get some kind of mentorship because she,
Right.
you know, did a successful festival.
Of course, right.
And me being part of her festival, so you know we already had the connection. So I pitched the idea to her, but the idea that I originally pitched was kind of a more grander idea, like a 3-day festival.
Right.
And she's like, "Yo, Dallas, this is an awesome idea. I think we could do it. This is what we need to do to put
Right.
it together."
Yeah.
She's like, "What we could do is first year we could collaborate. We could take your idea, kind of shrink it into one night, and then that'll be something for us to build on." You know, so so we kind of laid out the groundwork for the Urban Web Summit,
Right.
the collaboration with the Hip Hop Film Festival, and you know I also do double duty because I also do the programming and filmmaker engagement for the festival as
Right.
well. You know, so that's kind of like how the collaboration came together. So it started last year, pitched the idea to her, she loved it, thought it was she saw my vision, and we kind of put it together.
And you guys are off
Yeah.
and running now. That's what's up. James, I want to let you jump in
Yeah.
on this. I know we talked off camera about some of the productions that are here, some of these
Definitely.
independent films. Talk about that aspect and just the pleasure you guys get from letting people create and follow their dream.
Okay, first of all, let's get everybody up to speed. It is not a festival about hip hop.
Right.
It is a festival for
For-
people of hip hop and who have been influenced by hip hop to use this medium in film
Right.
to express themselves.
Okay.
In a lot of different ways. There's some great films in this festival. There is Swagger,
Right.
which is about the projects, and it surprised me, but it's about the projects in France.
Wow.
Really?
You know, so
Francais.
exactly, exactly. It's about creating your own style
Right.
and becoming that different person inside of that, which we would not think of. We were sitting in the
right.
United States. We don't think about that.
Right,
You know, there is Chris Martin has a film.
We were talking about.
We were talking about.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Chris, if I say the name wrong. I believe it's called "And I Danced."
Okay.
But this is a film where he went back and he interviewed like all the old school dancers, or as many as he could find.
Right.
IBM dancers, Leg 1, Leg 2.
Big Les.
You know, Big
Big
Les.
Les, right,
You know,
right.
and some of
Big
the old
Les.
MCs. And it spoke to them.
Les.
They speak in the film. About dancing and how that influenced them and how that brought them through like the 80s and the 90s and what that meant to be dancing back up for rappers and things like that.
I got a great Big Les story. I'll share that later.
Okay, cool.
wasn't
Chuck
in
D
love
has
with
a
Big
Chuck
Right?
D's
Oh, my
production
God.
company has a film in it. T.I.'s production company has a
Wow.
film in it.
Wow.
Corner
we
Man,
have-
T.I.
Yeah,
Corner
Corner
Man.
Man, T.I. We have a lot of different films that are being represented from all over the world, from all continents. You know, so people are getting to see a lot of different stuff, and this is all hip hop inspired. This is from that hip hop generation,
Right.
You know, so that's what this is about. And the hip hop Film Festival is the only festival that also gives back and shares profits with the filmmakers so that they can go on and move on to another project.
I was reading that up there with CP put together, what she put together as far as the giving back. It was like
Yes.
MSB, My Smart Baby Productions or something like that. That's the name of it. And that right there was like mind-boggling that all the proceeds go right back into the community immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I think is like amazing because like you said, we have to support each other all the way around, and you don't see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's just trying to get their money and keep it pushing.
Yeah, well, we always
You know.
complain that we cannot control, what's out there, and we have no control of that. And this gives us that control of that. We can put the stuff out there. We can send it to who we want to send to, distribute it to who we want to distribute it to.
Right.
We can like let people know we have this, and you can see this on my film. We have a channel. You can look at it. You can see this film. It might not get in this movie theater or that movie theater, but you can find it over here.
Right.
It's
It's funny you mention that because we're in the process of doing our own pay-per-view network, and it's really the same imagery because as being black men of a certain age, we see that there are limited options, especially I call it that Gen Xer gut, where you don't have the music we hear. It's not, we don't hear our music. The images we see on TV.
Yes.
We used to have conversations like this on TV all the time. All of a sudden, it became a situation. People started hitting over their head with bottles and twerking on poles, and that became the go-to thing.
Yes.
So I like what you're saying about using the form of hip hop because hip hop has grown up. We had a hip hop president from hip hop. Anytime a black man played basketball at the White House, and have barbecues with rappers, that's from hip hop culture. Good friends of the show, Through It All, is running for congressman out in Newark.
Oh, that's dope.
Kevin
that's
Powell.
dope. That's
These
dope.
are growths of the hip hop culture. And I think that's so important because when people say hip hop, gonna be a bunch of dudes with baggy pants. And
That's the thing. That's the thing. Nobody thought about. They didn't think hip hop was gonna grow up.
Right.
They didn't realize that we would have the same issues everybody else had. You want to have a 401k plan. You need life insurance for your family. You gotta make sure that you pass it on. So that's something that nobody saw coming. So the fact of saying Obama is the first hip hop president, it's not a stretch.
Right.
It's not a stretch.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I thought it was Clinton.
You want to know something too on the low?
Did everything a black man would do.
Yo,
Cheat. Well, all right, go ahead.
Anyway.
if you think about it, right? If you think about it, right? Trump is kind of like.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I don't.
Just hear me out.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Hear me out real quick.
That may be
You know what? Instead of me making a statement, let me put it out and you guys give me your opinion.
Let's
on it.
talk.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Do you guys think Trump is a hip hop president as well? And I'm gonna tell you this.
God, I'm gonna hear you.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm listening again.
In the 80s and 90s, even early 2000s, and this is a fact, you guys can look this up. Donald Trump's name, I think, infused in hip hop songs.
You're right.
That's true.
Was the most.
Money like Trump, but right.
Smith & Wesson had a song in Raekwon. Guess who's the Black Trump? I'm the Black Trump.
My homie Tone Trump.
Right? So,
Yeah.
so I'm just putting it out there. So like Donald Trump was kind of infused in hip hop. I'm not saying he's a hip hop president. I'm just saying he's been in the space.
The money, the
money.
president.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Right,
The
hanging
money-
out with
the
Luke
money
and
aspect.
Tyson.
That's
The white
yeah,
women.
right.
Yeah.
Money aspect.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
No, there's no
He's
denying
part of
that.
the culture. He's part of the culture. Not to say he's a big aspect of the culture.
But he's a part of the culture.
He's
He is
been
a-
in the culture since the 80s, the 90s. He's grown up
Yeah.
here and there in little speckles with the
Hip hop has
culture.
always referenced him, right?
right.
That's
and that's
true.
all I'm saying. Like hip hop has referenced this dude for like 20
Yeah,
years.
he'll
Yes.
take your woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not celebrating him as part of the culture. I'm not
No.
saying
No, you're not, but
you
that's
embrace
a-
him at all. But
That's
I'm
a
just saying,
different.
like,
That's a different way to
But
look
then
at
you
it.
know
Just
what
making a
too?
comment.
The thing is that a lot of people do not realize, and I believe it was Grandmaster Cass that said this, that hip hop didn't invent anything, but hip hop reinvented
Reinvented
everything.
everything, right.
And that's what the basic truth is. You see it everywhere when they're changing words in the Webster's dictionary.
Right.
Yeah,
That's hip
absolutely.
hop.
That's
When they're
hip-hop.
taking something and they're advertising something and they're
Get your
changing
hustle
one
on.
lesser, changing one letter to another letter,
That's
or
true.
using a X instead of something else, or crooked Z or something. That's hip hop. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So they said some rappers couldn't spell. That's why you got crooked
You know,
Z.
yeah.
And obviously, we just heard recently that hip hop's become the largest generation music.
Yes.
beat top and rock and roll for the first time.
Okay, hold up, real quick, and you guys are gonna see this film when you come. Beatbox Boom Bap.
Okay.
Right. I'm watching the trailer. This guy does not know any English. All I hear is him say something. I don't even know the language. And then he says beatbox and starts beatboxing. And I know Dougie would be proud of him. And they have this like world competition for beatboxers, and they're off the hook.
Wow.
I mean, from different countries. It's crazy. You'll see. You guys are gonna see the film when you come.
Beatboxing is the culture. The hip hop culture is huge. Even when you go outside our little shores here, when you go overseas, hip hop is one of the biggest.
Yes.
Biggest.
That's. I'm be honest.
Yes.
I'm a veteran, so when I was in the army, I was in the military. I was stationed in Korea for a year, in South Korea for a year, and to talk like, I never realized how official it was until I actually saw like little Korean kids with their hat backwards. You know what I'm saying? With their hat backwards, with the way we wore the uptowns, you know, and I saw it, I was like, yo, wait a minute, y'all must be watching Fresh Prince a little too much. And not realizing that it really is.
Wearing their pants backwards.
Right, and everything. So it's like you see it and it's like you don't really understand it until you have to actually physically encounter it. So it does take you take a little bit of pride about it because this is our thing.
See, one thing
The sad thing is that in the midst of us this being our thing, we still sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
we
we did.
lost it. And
Yes,
so
we did.
that's the only reason why, like what you were saying about Trump, because I was thinking about it. That's the only reason why he was able to, quote unquote, become a part of the culture. Because once we sold it out for money, like once you sell your soul, you can't get it back.
Very good point.
You know what I mean? And that's the only reason why. That's one way I can say why he's a part of the culture.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Banksy.
yeah,
On that
I
aspect.
feel you.
See, because I was
Absolutely right.
looking at the hip hop culture as well, because one thing a lot of people don't really realize, it was the message of the day.
Right.
And it's how we went and spoke about what was going on in our lives and what was in our neighborhood.
Right.
And when you look at a lot of that stuff, it was really a lot of good things that came out of it, as well as the music and everything else, and really just gave a big tell that people just kept on and grew and grew and grew until it's got to the phenomenon as it is now. And I think the one record that really broke through it, a lot of things, was Rapper's Delight, that broke through a lot of the records and everything else and came out to be one of the things that everybody's, because when you look at it on what's that, The Wedding Singer, when you have an old lady singing the song of like the hip, the hop, the hip, it's like what the heck going on?
Right.
No doubt.
But now
doubt,
the
no
other thing
doubt.
that was so funny that I was just listening to you guys about, because I was looking at a video that I did put on my Facebook of KRS-One. And what KRS-One did was that he was going around getting different hip hop artists from different cultures and different parts of the world, and he made a video of that. And you see every one of them making a song. You don't know what they saying, but you see them
right.
just doing it.
Right.
And then the other thing I saw too was also like with Public Enemy, because that was one of the biggest phenomena, which had me laughing because a lot of people didn't understand what they was really about. They was singing the words, don't know English language,
Right.
but
Yes.
rapping the words to all their songs when they went over.
Speaking of PE,
Right.
you go to a PE concert and it be more white faces than black faces.
Yes.
Yes.
I never forget. I years ago went to Public Enemy, Redman. There was a few other people. I think it was the leaders in New School. When Public Enemy was the last act,
Yep.
all the faces were white. All the black
Yes.
people left.
Right.
PE was probably the most influential rap group of all time
Yes,
because they
it
took
was.
Jerry curls out of black kids' hair, and they brought white kids to the culture.
you know-
They brought the skateboarders and
Backpackers,
the
right,
backpackers and the
right.
rockers. Go ahead, bro.
Ironically, but you go to a lot of these rap concerts, you see majority more white kids,
Yeah.
white people in general in the audience more than majority of black people.
But
you know what I'm saying?
You know what you said something about Trump. So let me ask you a question. If we're going to keep it in hip hop terms, is Trump the Vanilla Ice?
No.
No.
Of it?
No.
No,
No.
next.
It's something vanilla
No.
ice to Barack Obama's.
No.
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 Yeah, I call him that because Vanilla
like
Ice wasn't
that.
that good.
But that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
He was a one-hit
No, but
wonder.
you know what? He got hit though. He got that hit.
Oh, that's the
Listen, he got that hit.
And he also
You
got
gotta
hung over a
respect-
roof by Suge
Yeah,
Knight.
you right, but you gotta
He
respect.
got that hit too.
You got
Okay,
that
Dallas.
hit.
But this the two things, right? Ironic we brought up PE. Chuck D actually has a documentary in the festival
Wow,
this year.
crazy.
Yes.
And it's a documentary kind of documenting Public Enemy's road to the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Oh no, to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know, so Chuck D definitely has a
That's what's up.
documentary
That's
in the
what's up.
festival this year. The thing about Trump and Obama, like the difference I think is Obama, of course he's black, he's from the culture. Trump is not from the culture, but Obama kind of opened up the White House to the culture, like to just people, period.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
Yes,
yes.
very transparent. You know, he wanted
Right.
to kind of be the people's president. Trump is the he's the anti hip hop. Like he doesn't want to assimilate with us
Anybody at all. Right.
whatsoever. So at least Vanilla Ice, he had, he wanted to be hip hop tribe, but like Trump ain't even trying. Like Trump is
I
telling
just loop it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So Trump is telling you unequivocally, I don't rock with y'all.
Yeah,
I rock with my people.
right.
And he's showing and proving. So I don't think he's really Vanilla Ice. I think he's on some other.
Okay, so this is that is true, but at the same time too, we must not forget that hip hop is not just hip hop. Hip hop is a force, and it's a force that has taken the world like no other type has before. You got people who don't know nothing else, but they know a rap song.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing else, but they know that, and they know the English version, and they could do it in their language.
The music is only one piece of hip hop culture. Like,
yes.
like this is hip hop right now.
Right.
How we talk, how we shake each other's hands. You know what I mean? Like that's hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the slang we create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How we interact with
It's
our
like a
families,
movement.
how
It's a movement.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Pretty much hip hop is us, like us expressing ourselves.
It's life.
every day.
Become
It's
life.
life.
And the
Yes.
music,
It's life.
Yes.
it's life, right? It's how we live. And then
That's
I
just
guess if
one
you have
part.
to put a title of it, I mean, because like what rock and roll was how white boys got there,
Yeah.
right? That was rock and roll, like just stoned and drinking and wilding and with the long crazy hair, doing drugs. And
But you see, funny. I'm sorry. Funny. The funny thing is that
living was rock and roll.
I'm sorry. The funny thing is that rock and roll really wasn't white.
It was us.
It was
Right.
black.
Let's come back.
It was black.
It
It was
wasn't
black.
black.
But you know what?
Let's hold that.
Hold that
back with
thought.
that, right?
We're
That
going
makes
to continue this
sense.
That was
conversation.
co-opted.
Right.
Dallas, Alexis, James Goodwin. We talking hip hop.
Talking a lot.
Nonbeat
Yes.
Lounge
Right.
Live on Saturday.
That's
Come on
right.
back. The
right.
brothers, Dallas, Alexis, James Goodwin, Urban Web Summit, and the Hip Hop Film Festival coming this week, August 3rd to 6th. A lot of great films, and obviously we'll build a lot of discussion. We were talking offline. I kind of want to jump in, Dallas, talking about you mentioned about the sports background.
Yes.
And how from slavery.
Yes.
Right.
The growth of the black athlete, or
Yes.
the genetic, I guess, is the start of the genetic build of the black athlete. I want you to
Yeah.
kind of dive into that a little bit.
Pretty much, during the break we were talking about the origination and the history of sports.
Right.
And how I read a really good book called A $40 Million Slave.
Right.
Which kind of breaks down the beginnings of sports, like how sports started. Like like one thing, like horse racing started on a slave plantation when the slave owners kind of wanted to kind of test their horses and see what they kind of had. So they had the slaves kind of race them. And sometimes like slave owners from other plantations would bring their horses to like one particular spot, and they would have the slaves race the horses, and and the masters would bet, and that was kind of like horse racing. Same thing with track.
Track and
Track
field,
originated
right.
there first.
Yeah.
Boxing, like you guys seen in Django, like with
Django, yeah.
wrestling and boxing first started on the plantation.
Right.
I mean, so pretty much, the origins of sports, and let's keep it funky, man. Like when it comes to culture,
Monetized
anything-
competition.
yeah,
Let's just call it that. Right,
that's
yeah.
us. Like sports, entertainment, that's us, man. Like we the originators of that. But sports, so we had definitely a great conversation off air about the origins of sports.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and that was us. That kind
That's
of
us.
hockey. Talking
Right,
about
hockey,
hockey kind
right.
of started from us.
Yeah.
Track.
Basketball.
Basketball,
right.
like the first Negro leagues.
Right.
College sports. HBCUs ruled college sports
Yeah.
in the 50s and 60s, and then the white schools kind of, because there was segregation.
Yeah.
So through segregation, we had all the top talent.
Right.
So our schools flourished.
Always.
And
know what I'm
I
saying?
think obviously kind of correlating that to the film festival,
Yeah.
we see like, and I don't begrudge anybody who does cinema or does series, but it seems like every series or every web series that comes out is about the issues we deal with in our communities.
Yes.
Right.
And that's fine, and I get that, but I always tell people we get a lot of web series hosts and producers that come in. Expand your mind. I grew up in the Bronx, New York, and my mother once told me, like, look, we know what we experience, you know what you're going through, but where are you trying to go? I mean, you know what you're in now, but this is all you want to think? Is there something you want to grow to? Dream a little bit.
Absolutely.
So I was talking to one guy, like, why don't you make a science fiction web series? Do something different. Make something about something maybe you don't know about that you have to research. I challenge people with that because, again, it's about growth. It's not really about us. Like, we do this show and we talk and we having this great conversation.
Yeah.
But, somebody's going to pick this up and go, wow, I hear this, and I'm going to have that conversation with my friends or family. It's a domino effect. And I want to hear you guys, when you get submissions in and you start to say, okay, well, does this represent the culture? What does it represent us? Well, your thoughts on when you get submissions.
Well, with the Urban Web Summit, so pretty much the Urban Web Summit, what we focus on is web series, docu-series, new media, podcasts.
Right.
And we do, next year, we're probably going to do like experimental film as well. So just to kind of answer what you're saying, like as far as the content that we get in, first things first, you got to pass all the technical specs first.
Okay.
Technical specs, so that means your composition got to be on point. The sound got to be on point.
Right.
The story.
So that kind of eliminates a lot of the...
So you really
mess,
regulate
what's
coming in. You're not just putting anything in anyone on.
No.
You're putting good,
Past the
high
testers.
quality,
Absolutely.
quality.
Right.
But at
You
the
gotta
same
put-
time, I'm sorry, Dallas. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, James, go ahead.
I was just going to say at the same time, when Dallas chooses something, when CR chooses something, they also get feedback from
Right.
people
Right.
who submit stuff.
So they're
to them.
layers.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
there
Yeah.
are layers to
Yeah.
it. They don't just go, nah, we don't like this.
It's like
and
step one, step
Yeah.
they,
two,
Three tough
definitely.
cookies.
They'll tell them what
Yeah.
to do to make it better and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're telling
So-
a person like, listen, you have to step. These are the reasons why you didn't get submitted. So
Right.
yeah, this was off. This was off. We need a little bit more of this.
Absolutely.
This way they could go back when they do another one and they
Yeah.
can sit there. Okay, let me look at what I did wrong
Your
here.
dialogue got to be
And I
more than
gotta
just
come
your
back.
son.
Yo,
Yeah.
my man, I'm saying, yo.
Yeah.
What the product is, basically.
There's a criteria, right? Sound, composition, story, acting, and because we're filmmakers.
Yes.
So we come from the art of creating content. So we know what we're looking at.
Right.
Right.
That's one. Two, the films we choose is all about the credibility of our brand, Urban Web Summit Hip Hop Film Festival. So whatever we screen
Right.
is a reflection of us.
Yes.
Right? So we have to, not saying if you have something that's a great concept or a great story, like we're not going to screen it, but it has to have some kind of redeeming value to it. So Urban Web Summit, the web series we do got a science fiction one.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Called The Body Jumpers.
Body jumpers.
Body Jumpers, man. It's a great science fiction web series.
That's what's up. Again, like I
That's
said,
like
I just
Quantum
love the
Leap.
fact that
Little
people are going
Yeah.
outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like pretty much one of the centerpieces of the Urban Web Summit this year is a web series called Tough Love. Emmy nominated, man.
Really?
First web series ever to be nominated for a daytime Emmy.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's
Incredible.
a black show.
Incredible.
And Thursday night we had like an official festival event.
Yes.
Like the launch, so we kind of celebrated them and kind of had a private screening, for them.
Right.
But I do agree with you, man. It's about changing the narrative.
Yes.
That's one of our slogans, changing the narrative.
Right.
And like one of the main things with us, man, with like the stuff that we put together, the stories are great. Incredible stories, right? It's the execution.
Yeah.
The execution is off sometimes. Sometimes brothers think they could pick up a phone or pick up a camera, let me go shoot something and put it out there. Because the story is so riveting.
Yeah.
Even if they've been through it, like, they probably been through the crazy stuff.
Right.
They think that story, it's a great story,
Right.
but the execution is off.
It's important to have people like you because, again, sometimes some of us, like I'm my own worst critic. When we do this show, nobody can critique me more than myself.
Right.
But I know that's
Got
not the
that right.
norm. Well, thank you, Rodeo. 'Cause
Yeah,
I can critique you on a regular basis.
I agree.
But at the end of the day, most people don't think that way. If somebody goes, oh, yeah, you're hot, you think that's what the world is thinking.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody like you two brothers that this is your life,
Yeah.
you're able to pick out idiosyncrasies and say, this is what you got to do to get better.
See, but that's one thing I can say. I'm kind of happy to hear that too, because of besides critiquing the cinematography and everything else, but the biggest thing that I love about a lot of things that you're talking about is one big thing that you kept saying over and over again is stories, because not too many movies or shows that come out have a good storyline.
Yeah.
And if the storyline is crappy, you look at it, they try to play it on with special effects and all this other
Music
and
and stuff like
action,
that,
and
right.
it's not really a story.
Right.
So I'm glad that you do have that inside.
I just want to know, you definitely have the criteria. Now, when the people bring their projects to you, how long do y'all have? It's a time limit on the story? Like, it has to be a 20-minute or half
Well, what
an
it is
hour?
that since we have different parts of the festival, you have shorts, you have
Documentaries.
shorts, documentaries, and then you have features.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know, also we do also have music videos involved in the festival too. So you have to fit one of those criteria, you know, or come as close to one of them as possible. And if your piece is that good, then we will, you know, we'll fit it in. We'll get it in.
Right.
If we see it and we like it, we're going to put it in.
I know be one
you
brother
know.
like they ain't put mine up. Yeah, we've been here for 8 hours and they
know
still
what I'm
like, we're trying to fit you in, man. Sit down.
Hold on.
Have some popcorn.
There is a documentary that we showed last year. What was Ricky's documentary? I'm sorry, I always forget what
Ricky's documentary. It was about Filipino breakdancers.
It was like Filipino. It was like the late '80s into the '90s,
Yeah.
but it was like 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
But people sat and watched
the
it.
whole-
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And it was off the hook. I was like, damn. I was like,
He went on to
breakdancing
get
the
distribution
Filipinos.
and
I was
everything.
like, what?
Distribution
I'm
and all that.
Seriously,
3 hours?
Ricky, I'm sorry, I forgot to name your film,
So-
but your film is hot.
So wait,
though.
did they go out to different islands in the Philippines and break dance
It's
against
old.
each other?
It's like old film. You know how you could tell when something was shot in the '80s.
yeah.
It's old, so you can
Old
you see
footage.
it's old footage. So they got a lot of stuff.
Nice.
And they still doing their thing.
Let
They're
me
still
ask you
doing their
guys
thing.
something in regard to the film festival, because like basically it's almost this seems like to me with the web series and stuff like that, almost like the resurgence of the black exploitation era back in the 70s of like
yeah.
you know what I mean the films that we had, but it seems like all the stories are just so similar as far as like, you know, cats from the hood got some coke to flip, making money, do whatever, trying to get out type of thing, basic stuff that you see all the time. Now, the question I have for you guys is this: do you find that people come in with something like, let's say, which I haven't heard you guys talk about, a love story? You know what I'm saying? A romantic love story, or even a romantic comedy like Boomerang type thing. Is it hard for people to come to you guys with these type of films and stuff like that? Like, get submitted like that?
Well, good.
Okay, I was gonna say that. No, it's not. It's not. You have a lot of different stuff coming in. There is a piece called we have coming out of 40 Acres and a Mule. See You Tomorrow, and it's about a girl who her brother was killed, and her friend like invented a time machine, but only sends you back and brings you back to the present after 10 minutes.
Wow.
So they keep going. They keep going. They keep
I need to
going.
know what I did 10 minutes ago.
They keep going.
we know you don't know what you
They
did.
keep
tonight.
trying to go back, you know, and save her brother, but then after the 10 minutes is up, they will
gotta
come
come
back.
back.
You know? So
That's interesting.
That's up in that's in there. That's in the festival too. You know. So we got some.
So you
We
got
got some good stuff.
pregnant.
You know.
Go like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. You know.
Then come back.
So if I can ask, how many films are in the span out through the 3 days? Correct. How many films do you have?
Well, with the two things.
I'm
The
actually
Web
trying to
Summit-
count in my head, like, 'cause so we got so
So-
many. I think it's like 45.
You need 10 minutes?
You know, I might need that. Yeah, I might need that. You know.
So with the Urban Web Summit, we are Friday night. We're going to screen 13 pieces of content. 13 pieces of content.
Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah. So
Popcorn and Gatorade.
you know, so if we combine the Urban Web Summit with the Hip Hop Film Festival, as far as content wise, we're probably looking at maybe 50 plus
Wow.
pieces of content combined.
Over the week.
Over a weekend.
And yeah, over a weekend.
Right.
Okay, that's not bad.
And we also have an art installation every day. On the main floor of the National Black Theater, which is on 125th and 5th Avenue,
Right.
we're going to have art.
Okay.
Are you guys familiar with Lien Smith?
Yes.
Lien Smith will be exhibiting Saturday and Sunday.
That's a beautiful thing.
Look up Lien Smith. Look up the work this brother's done. Young brother out of Delaware. Great work. And we also have another group of brothers called the Art Collective. They're going to be there all 4 days. Aleem will be there Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And he'll be doing, his exhibit is called the Get Out Mixtape. So the stuff that he's going to be exhibiting is inspired by the whole Get Out theme and kind of like us getting woke and kind of getting out
Right.
of the sunken place. So the exhibit is great. Like I actually seen some of the pieces already. So he will be exhibiting. So it's not just web series and films. It's art as well.
It's the whole culture, the
Okay.
whole lifestyle.
Yeah,
The
and
whole lifestyle. Yeah.
another thing, part of the lifestyle, we got we have a tech exhibit. It's gonna be 3,000 square feet, virtual reality. They're bringing back all the old gaming consoles.
That's up your area.
That's right.
That's like, yo, wow.
We're gonna have all of that. We're gonna have that there
Commodore
now
3000
on
there,
on the first
Pac-Man,
floor.
Centipede.
You have all of that. Then we also gonna have different what we call master ciphers.
Okay.
And it's changing the first one is changing the narrative. We have Jamal Joseph, who former Black Panther from Panther 21.
Right.
You know, professor at Columbia, filmmaker, and he will be coming. Full Force is going to be coming to do a panel on production.
We got them
getting your
coming
stuff
up here in the next couple weeks.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting your
Nice.
stuff in
Publishing.
movies, publishing, things like that. There is a panel for the sisters called Boss Chicks. You know, building companies, and that's like, you know, just those different parts make up. It's not just all films all day, every
Right.
day. You know,
You
it's going
guys,
to be a bunch of
and
different stuff.
I commend you, gentlemen, and CR
Thank
as
you.
well, because
Yes.
this,
Shout out to
if
CR.
there's anything that we
shout out to
needed,
CR.
you know,
CR
we
papers.
definitely needed this. And sometimes it takes people to go against the grain. It's very easy to say, you know what, and I'm not knocking people for doing it. We live in a capitalist society. Give me X amount of dollars, put your film in, and we'll just run with it. But you guys are doing something that's saying, you know what, we're going to make a change. And it always starts with one
Absolutely.
seed to grow a tree.
Absolutely.
Now, I was wanted to ask you guys also, because one thing I didn't really get to hear you guys talk about was, do you have any of the street artists that coming in, like the ones that used to do the graffitis and everything else like that, that wind up later on turning out to be more of like art
They're gonna spray
entrepreneurs
on
and
your
things?
house.
Well, we've had people come in, you know, who are not that well known and stuff like
Yes.
that. We're always open to helping
Okay.
somebody out. You know, you come in, you go, hey guys, I got this. You know, I want to try to do this. We'll try to work you in. We'll try to get you, you know,
Okay.
inside. Sometimes, you know, because of time constraints and you've already made decisions, that happens. But a lot of times we don't cut people off. We
Yes.
go, you cool? We can next year. We got you next year.
We
Yeah,
can
'cause-
always put them in Ed's house and
Nah,
have the graffiti.
yeah. But see, the reason why,
got a nice wall for them?
yeah, 'cause the
Okay.
reason why I asked about that, because I remember I seen a documentary on Channel 13 of all the old graffiti artists who now became more artists in France and Europe and all the other
Mainstream,
places,
right,
and they
right.
out there now getting more things.
Good, Dad.
You want to know what's so funny about that? One of the most popular graffiti artists that transition into artists right now, and it's so messed up. And this goes back to us getting our stuff taken. Is Banksy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Isn't Banksy the most popular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but then Banksy got it. Basquiat was the first original.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you had Basquiat, J1, and like a bunch of other very
Yes.
popular Zeus, like all these guys
the
that were
guys,
like
yeah, I remember.
crazy black and Hispanic
Yeah.
dudes
Right.
Yeah.
that put the work in, and then Banksy finds his learns the culture, mimics it, and then he becomes this trendsetter
Amazing-
of like
amazing
graffiti.
artist,
I'm
right.
like, Banksy, like, come
Yeah.
on, let's go back and talk about the real dudes who did it in
Take
the
it
Bronx,
back.
like
You
right
know,
here.
Yeah.
this is we always have to, and I'm always proud of the fact that I can say this is my generation's contribution to society.
society, right.
Because
Right.
because I remember,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
nobody did it for money or nothing.
Right.
You
Because
know,
that's kids today don't remember when there was no hip hop on the radio.
yeah.
And that's something that you gotta like really think about that. For the past 40, almost 50 some odd years, this thing that we love so much has taken over entertainment. I can remember when the radio used to go off at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when the
TV went
TV
off.
used to go off, remember?
Yes.
The Palm
You
Report.
see the American flag and the
Yeah,
song,
right.
Or the bars,
Bars,
or the
bars.
way, the
Bars
way
or the static.
Right.
This concludes our broadcasting day.
The same
It would
thing,
come up
the
off
same thing
air.
on television, and they
And
make
then-
the flag wave, and you feel all
then you got-
patriotic, you know, and stuff.
yeah.
And then you gotta remember, it was only seven channels,
Right.
and then you only had like about 2 hip hop stations that you was to try to listen to, and you used to have a tape deck to try
The
to
whole
catch it,
time.
and then
Yeah.
make sure that nobody was talking when you're trying to get the music.
Now,
I still got those tape decks, like those old tapes too, man.
Yes.
Just show you how
The
far we
event.
account.
Yeah.
is it a free event?
Okay.
Is it a monetary cost? If you could do like a 3-day package, a 2-day
There's a
package?
monetary cost that are probably the price range is probably about from $15 to $200.
Nice.
You know, and I say to brothers, or brothers have asked me to say that. I go, you'll spend that on a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
come and get
right,
educated.
right.
Come and try something.
Right about
see
that.
something you'll enjoy. You don't have to come for all 4 days. You can just, you know, come in $15. I'll buy a pass for a day or something like that.
If we can't support one of them, what good
No,
are we?
definitely.
You know, I mean, come on. Support black cinema. Support black entertainment. Black commerce.
Yes, yes.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't even know if we said this, but it's at the National Black Theater in Harlem, 125th Street and 5th
I just want to
Avenue.
get you there. I just want to get you there. I ain't got-
Okay, all right, cool. We got okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure because I wanted to shout out my man
Revalidate
Nabeem. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Did you say we validate
But
parking?
you know what?
Ed, come on, man. Like,
But you know what? the funny.
Just leave him your keys, and he'd be like, "I'm all right. I got you.
We don't need no stereotypes. We have to commit back.
And like as far as tickets or any information on any of the content that's being screened, hiphopfilmfestival.org. You'll find the Urban Web Summit. You know, we have a page on the site where you could get the whole lineup of who we're screening that night. Hip Hop Film Festival. Every block, every film, like you could actually pinpoint what film you want to see.
Fantastic.
Go into the tickets, and you could actually buy tickets.
That's what's up.
That's beautiful.
That's,
Yeah.
And you can see the trailers for all the films
You can see for all
on
the
there.
films.
Big shout to my homie Jayla with the one year after Chinks. I know she's got a film in your
Yes,
festival.
the one you yes.
And
yes,
my man
yes.
Remo, who I think got nominated.
Reem's gonna be
Yeah.
Reem,
Fantastic.
Reem, I know this is where Reem from, right? Like this is
Yeah.
Reem is gonna be in the Urban Web Summit. He is up for Best Podcast. He's in the mix for one of the finalists for the Best Podcast on the Urban Web Summit this year.
That's
Shout out
cool.
to Reem, man. You know, he's heavy on the gram too.
Yeah.
How can 950 get nominated for something? You know, real quick. We'll slip y'all 20.
I mean,
Well, you know what? The funny thing is that no. The funny thing is that, like I said, we met you guys now. So this is going to continue. So
Right.
it's going to be different next year. You know, so when we're doing this next year and we go,
He's our version
you know,
of Little Rich.
You know what? we need that time capsule. We're going in right now to next year.
no doubt.
Come back. We come back here in 10 minutes, you know? Well, let's just follow.
Hey, yo, we already in there, right?
Real quick, first of all, can you guys stick around a little bit?
Yes,
Absolutely,
yes.
man. We rocking and rolling, man.
One
We
more
there.
time, August 3rd to August 6th. Let them know the venue
National Black Theater, 125th Street and 5th Avenue.
and the website.
The website is www.hiphopfilmfestival.org.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. We'll be there doing some coverage. Thank you again for that opportunity, gentlemen. We're very excited
Shout
about
out
that.
to CR Capers.
Shout out to CR. Shout out to the
Shout
National
out,
Black
shout out.
Theater. We got you.
Yeah,
Hey, people, all I got to say, when y'all just pay $15, I mean, think about it. That's a meal for a lot of people, or 2 drinks in a club.
That's
you can actually go ahead
hold
and
on.
go to-
You know what? I'm gonna give y'all something that'll get people there.
Uh-oh, let's
Every
go.
night there is a party
That's what I was gonna-
sponsored by Effin Vodka and
They'll
Cavassier.
be there now. They'll be
There you
there.
go.
Right? All right? Y'all see that? Y'all see that?
Show up.
So
Y'all know
yes,
what it
we
is,
have the
right.
party every night,
I'll
you know,
be at
after
the
the
door,
festival.
$50 to get in.
$30 after gate.
Let me Kev. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Because before we really like go on to the next topic, as men and as a football lover of the sport as well, aren't they doing Colin extra dirty right now?
But he may get
No,
signed.
but like right now,
Well, let's call it what it is.
Now the Ravens signed some bum ass dude.
Yeah.
for him, right? That's why
Let-
I'm
let-
mad. I
let-
want to ask you. I want to talk
I'm
about
gonna say this. This is on
Well,
my.
you know what?
Let's save that next round.
Let's hold that.
Next.
Okay.
Hold
Let's table
and
that.
don't talk about it during the break. Facebook don't need to hear that.
Let's table it. Let's table it.
We want to table it.
We're
Okay.
gonna keep Dallas and James here. We're gonna talk about again Colin Kaepernick, other things that affect sports, even going to HBCUs
Let's
and
do
down
it.
for the sports in that
Let's do
genre. Bobby Simmons is everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout
what's
to
up.
Bob.
He's in that
Friends of
time
the room.
machine.
Shout out to Bob. for real.
Can't say it all, just say stent.
We're still chopping up with Dallas, Alexis, James, Goodwin, Urban Web Summit, the Hip Hop Film Festival, August 3rd to 6th. Again, big shout out to CR Capers. Couldn't be here today, but I know obviously
Big shout.
you guys represented well. We were having a great conversation on camera and off. And I know we wanted to talk about Troy. You
Yeah,
mentioned
what I was
before
saying
we went
with Colin Kaepernick,
Yes.
like we were talking about, as far as we see why and how he's getting railroaded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like we said, it's just a matter of not you protesting the flag, the country, the shield, but the disrespect and the hatred that we receive by the police. And it's just sad, like Ed was saying before, you had somebody in Michael Vick killed dogs, but got a chance to play ball again. Only thing this man Colin is saying, yo, look at what your police force is doing.
Right.
Look at how they hurting me, people that look like me, people that don't look like me, people who are poor. Because that's really what it is. He's attacking this classism as far as haves and have-nots. It just so happens that he's a have who respects and understands and remembers when he had not. And that's the thing that I think is like sideways. That's why I was asking, Kev, what you think about that.
Well, again, we talked about offset. The Good Old Boy Network again, football players, if we go back to North Dallas 40, and,
Right.
you know, boys will be boys. They'll
Right.
drink all night. They'll be womanizers. They'll beat women. They'll do things, they're not respectable in society. But in their minds, as older, affluent, white owners, is that, oh, you represent the flag.
Right.
And with him doing what he did, which is a constitutional right, there's no law against that. That's his right as an American citizen, which he is. He pays his taxes. He decided to pull a knee out. That knee brought a national conscience to what was going on. Now, I don't necessarily look at the owners. I look at the players. Because if everybody's saying, oh, sign Colin, well, why weren't you guys supporting that? The NFL is 75% black.
Yeah.
And out that 75%, about 60% come from single-parent household. That's a large
That's a lot
number
of people.
of
Yeah.
individuals.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if that's the case, if you believe that, then where's your support? You know, it all started with Jordan, in my opinion. In the 60s, 70s, you had the Jim Browns, you had the Harry Edwards, you had
Muhammad
the Tommy
Ali's.
Smiths.
Muhammad Ali, right.
You know what, the Bill Russells. I
Yes.
don't believe this is right, and I'm going to fight against it. Along the lines, and this is just my opinion, those owners and the sports have become so big that the money's so powerful that a lot of these athletes have gotten away from that.
just
You know,
think
I'm
about
not
the
there
money.
anymore. You got to get yours. I got mine.
The
So
money.
I don't necessarily communicate with you anymore. I communicate here. The OJ syndrome, if we want
Yes.
to
Right,
kind of
right.
talk
Yes.
about
Right.
it. So a lot of these athletes say, I'm not messing up my Apple Card. And that's the problem. I don't really blame the owners. The owners are acting the way they're supposed to act.
Well, actually,
owners not going to...
they're doing what they've always done.
They're right. They're not
Yes.
going to understand
Yes.
what
Yes. Right.
a kid, from a African American kid from the city, inner city, or African American kid from the projects, African kid from the South. They're not going to understand that.
They just understand what they can get out of them.
Right.
Yes.
That's what
Right. Yes. Yes.
I look at the players and say, well, where are you standing? Where's your fortitude? To answer your question.
I like that. I mean, but the thing is, like what we said, the sacrifice. It's a sacrifice a lot of people are scared of. Now, you mentioned Jordan.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Jordan changed the whole narrative because it was
I'm
all
saying
about
when Jordan
once
came
he got
out,
that money?
When Jordan came out and said, I'm not standing up for nothing because
Right.
Democrats and Republicans
Wear
both
my
wear
shoes.
Jordans.
Right.
When Michael started getting into privatizing prisons. These are things that a guy at the highest level of his sport, it trickles down. Like we talk about from a sports perspective what LeBron has done, like guys want to join super teams.
Right.
So that trickles down. Jordan was a guy that was the leader of that 80s and
right,
mid-90s,
right.
and guys would emulate that. You know, they wore tailor-made suits because Mike was
did.
wearing tailor-made suits.
Right.
Now these guys walking like clowns because LeBron and them are
Right.
wearing, Russell Westbrook are wearing these clothes. It's a copycat world.
Yeah.
And if people say, you know what, it's in vogue to stand up against injustices. It's right to support people that look like you or not forget where you come from. I'm not saying these guys don't do it on the private, but it's got to be brought to light because when you bring stuff to light, it builds a cumulative effect.
See, and that's what we was talking about off site when I was telling you. Like I said, if they want to, they can pick up Kaepernick if they want to, but they don't want that.
They're not.
They don't want that type of attitude
want the
to start
image.
going throughout the whole thing because you can't sit there and tell me that they don't want to pick him up because they don't have the same situation coming that nobody's going to come to the game because they're going to come to the game regardless.
Right.
They just want to squash out his words and everything else, and they don't want nobody to follow in his place, and they're gonna start a big epidemic, as they would
know
call
what?
it, to go across through the whole thing.
Good, Dallas.
Absolutely right. I think Michael Jordan was the modern day OJ, right?
Yeah.
OJ said, "I'm not.
I'm not
black,
black.
white,
I'm OJ. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Jordan was on that same wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your
No,
mic
check
on?
this.
Check the mic,
hit
mic
the
on.
green
Oh,
button.
there it goes.
Mike's on.
There you
Go
go.
ahead.
Okay, good. Say it again, Dallas.
You know, so pretty much what I said was Michael Jordan was the modern day OJ of
Right,
his generation because OJ said, "I'm not black, I'm not white,
I'm OJ.
I'm OJ."
Okay.
And pretty much OJ, like he had a lock on corporate entertainment, like
Yeah.
Hertz, right?
Right.
Running through
OJ was the first black athlete to get endorsements, in the
Really
corporate
big,
And
world.
right?
look
That's true.
what came after Jordan. Tiger Woods, Charles Barkley, Derek Jeter.
with the same type
The
of wave,
same
right?
type of
Yeah,
mentality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And second thing, with the whole Kaepernick thing, it's like double back with the Kaepernick. In basketball, there were two athletes who kind of stood up, kind of did the same
Right.
thing, and they were
Almost
blackballed.
Yeah, they were right.
Right. So I guess some athletes, you know, the kind of you know, to your point is like they don't want to deal with that being blackballed. They want to come
their
in,
money.
get their money, be quiet.
It's gonna.
Yeah, the person you were saying black, but that was Chris Jackson.
Right.
He did not
Raul.
stand.
Raul.
He did
Yeah.
not stand for the national anthem.
And the
during
dude who
my
played
league.
with Jordan. Who else?
Yeah.
Craig Hodges.
Craig
Craig Hodges.
So,
That's true.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf and Craig Hodges, they like, you know, they was very adamant. They was very vocal on,
Right.
you know,
Black-
on stuff,
But
on
wasn't-
black stuff. Yeah.
But didn't we last week also talking about those two guys that was in the
Juan
Olympics?
Carlos and Tommy
that was in the
Smith.
Olympics,
John-
and they
John-
was
right,
and they
John
was
Carlos,
banned
Tommy
from running ever again.
Yeah,
and
banned
then-
from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got
they
banned
just
from
not-
everything.
Yes.
Tommy Smith wife
Yes.
left him, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He lost his wife. They couldn't even get jobs as dishmen.
As
Nowhere.
dishwasher, you couldn't do
Nobody
anything.
wanted anything.
They
to do
just
with it.
started.
Whoa.
They just put a statue up at San Jose State like 4 years ago. That was
Tommy
68.
Smith.
Really, they just put it up.
Yeah.
They
Like
just
4
put it
years
on.
ago, yeah.
Wow.
I had a kid I used to coach that went to San Jose State, and he said, you know, Coach Kev, they having a statue, and he didn't know
Who he
I had to
was at
feed
all.
him- Yeah, like this,
Right.
these read
But,
up.
but that's why I asked this question,
Yeah.
because this is something that these kids today don't seem to understand.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing about. Like we were saying with Muhammad, you had Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. Well, you had men from different aspects of sport, but all with the same common mindset of it.
Right.
No, right is right, wrong is wrong. This is my people, no matter how you slice it. I'm supporting my brother. The scary thing is, like we said, back to hip hop, you sell your soul, it's all about the money. You're scared to get your money back. Now, having money, amazing thing as it can be. We all know to a certain extent. But this is the thing. Why is it that you're so scared to go back to your basic roots? You understand what I'm saying? Even if it's just, yeah, you made your money, now I got to sit up here and stretch this for the rest of my life. Why is it so hard for brothers to come back to the basics?
But you know what? Like you said, brothers, how they, you know, so they sold. Ironically, a black man started free agency. It was Kirk Flood.
Yeah,
Well, I want my money.
Spencer Haywood.
Spencer Haywood was another one, right? Right.
You know,
You
but
know?
what it is that also too, you got to remember, professional athlete, when is your career over?
That's true.
Okay,
Fairly-
when your career is over and you in your 30s, now you want to come back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you want to come back because most people their life just getting started.
Yeah,
you know,
much, yeah.
and so
Find their
now
way.
you want to get the mentality of, okay, I think I want to do something. I want to stand for something. But then people is like, no, what happened when you was making the money? You ain't care.
Right.
When you was making the money, you ain't have nothing
When
to
you
say.
had the
When you had the
spotlight
spotlight
on
on
you,
you,
you didn't do
you ain't want to
anything.
do nothing.
Yeah.
And that is your responsibility because you are something that children look up to. That's what that's the reality of it. I understand that you want to be a professional athlete and that's what you want to do and that's the way your life wants to be. But you have kids running up to you and they're going to emulate what you do.
Right.
You know, so you have to at least be conscious of that and be conscious of what you say and what you do. And that's the thing that a lot of people are not. They're really scared to even do that. They're really even scared to be themselves anymore. They're just going to be like, I'm just going to, do this and I'm going to sit in here and da-da-da.
You know what my theory on like the whole cap thing is? You were saying off camera like they're gonna make them sweat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna make them sweat, and I think a team will swoop in the 25th hour and sign them. You wanna know why? Because it's a great story.
Right, keep the morale happy. Yeah, yeah.
It's like with the Cowboys. Every year they'll sign somebody that's like this polarizing figure, right? It's good for business.
Yeah.
Especially if you win. So Kaepernick is good for business.
Right.
Like there's no such thing as bad pub.
Bad
Yeah,
publicity,
Bob,
right?
yeah.
Like now, if you notice, like with sports, right? Whatever sports it is, like if whatever game it is, right? Basketball, football, it's a year-round thing now.
Yeah.
Right,
There's
right,
no
right.
more off-season.
Yeah, the hot stove
Yeah.
stays
Right,
cooking.
right,
Yes,
right, right.
It's a
yes.
year-round thing now, right? You know, so they keep it going. So like with Cat, it's like season ended in January, right? No, February.
Right. Super Bowl. Right.
But then it's a year, like where's Kaepernick going?
What's
Go.
Cap gonna do?
And the
Everybody
wildest
tuning
thing,
in. So, you know,
I want to piggyback off you. Just hold me up. They said they don't even want the Cavs to trade Kyrie Irving because they want to see how him and LeBron act towards each other because it's good for business. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want to do now.
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, it's look. Whatever if they're doing that with Kyrie and LeBron and everything, then like you said, the fix is in, so to speak.
I think
you know,
so, man.
the fix is in. You know, I just think that it's
Wrestling is WWE's in every sport.
right. It's sports entertainment.
Vince
all
would
the
be
way around.
proud. Vince is
At the end of
proud.
the day, it's entertainment.
Right.
But is the fix
Entertainment.
really in though?
But you know what it is?
Is the fix? I don't know. I can't say the fix.
That's the thing that takes it away, because if you love the sport, sports is sports. For men who played it, it's an outlet. It's a way to release stress in a positive way, right? But then if you take that element of competition, pure competition out of it, like you said, you don't want to think the fix is in. You don't want to think and feel that it's like, oh
But
man.
it's the business of sport. We're not
But
talking about the business of sport.
That's the part I was getting at. The business is the other
well
side
before
of
they
it.
hit the gridiron.
Right,
But
that's
well
the
before they
side
hit
of
the
it.
court.
But all right, so let's take ball for a minute. If you're saying the fixes, and you mean to tell me that this Golden State team that's been assembled together, probably might be one of the greatest teams we might see now.
Right.
I mean, let's put you got two of the best basketball players of my generation. I'll say that because I grew up with Jordan and a few other ones. But you got, as of right now, the generation is coming up. You got a Curry, you got a Durant, two of the best players. Then you got all these other little pieces that you add into it.
Right.
Is this the best team we've ever seen assembled? Is this a true super team? To go,
It's a super team.
It's a super team.
It's a super team.
Yo,
It's a little
listen, no,
different.
it's. I say yes because it's like playing chess.
Yeah.
All right, you have to have a good strategy. Your good strategy, you have a good team. You know what your pawns are for. You know what the rook is for. You know what the bishop is for. Everybody has to, and they put together this great collection of players inside of Golden State. That's just the reality of it.
Because
yo.
with
It reminds
Golden
me.
State, right?
It reminds me of the same back in the days of the '80s when we used to have the Celtics and the
but the
Lakers,
difference
and it was
is-
just like that.
But beyond the court, I understand what Josh was saying about
Yeah.
the court. I'm talking about the business side of it. What Golden State's put together is good for the league. They
Yes.
sell out
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
The Warriors
Everywhere.
are the first team
Everywhere.
that's now having PSLs in the NBA.
Like that?
Right.
How long do you think that every team now they're going to start doing that? So how think everybody else is going to do that?
Yes.
The NBA, while people are always watered down, the ratings haven't been higher. They're making waves in the off season. So this is when it comes to the business
Great for
side
business.
of sport.
Great for business.
Hey, you know
Definitely.
what?
Definitely.
You think Dolan's complaining?
Hell
You know
no.
what's about Golden State?
Hell no.
Nah.
This is why Golden State is kind of like, not an anomaly, but kind of different. You can't even knock them because the core of that team, they all drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steph, Clay, Draymond.
Thank Mark Jackson for that.
Mark,
Yep.
Mark Jackson
putting that all together.
Yep.
Look,
Steph,
where's
Clay,
Mark at?
Draymond, yeah.
He can't even get on the court.
And
He can't
that's
even coach
another.
a team.
That's
Because
another.
his religious
Can't be
beliefs.
a
Another situation.
Yeah, you know what the
That's
funny
another
reason why
situation.
we're going around is all it also go back to what we was talking about before, that mentality, that master mentality.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, it's no matter how much we love sports, you love entertainment, it's still modern day slavery. So when you see somebody like Cap would be, I guess, considered Nat Turner
Yeah.
of the NFL right now, just in the aspect of taking a knee,
Right.
not doing anything else, but just saying, yeah, okay, this is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I do, but it's just also it just comes back around.
We go on forever, guys.
Yo, we got this.
This racism. Where will it end?
Break it down.
Yes,
Right.
please.
You know, we were talking about like earlier, like how do we change things? You know,
Right.
How do we get out of that crabs in a barrel mentality? How do we change miseducation? How do we start to practice group economics?
Yes.
How do we start to practice
Yes.
the real model of I am my brother's keeper? Right.
Yes.
You started like this.
Let's schedule
Like this.
and we'll talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's schedule another time. Get you guys back here in another
Let's do
month.
it, man.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
August 3rd to 6th. If you think this is a great conversation, come watch 50 plus movies and be inspired. One more time, gentlemen.
Hip Hop Film Festival, National Black Theater, 125th Street and 5th Avenue, www.hiphopfilmfestival.org.
Dallas, Alexis, James Goodwin. Thank you, bro.
Thank you,
It's been
brother.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you.
for having
Thank you
us.
for having
For
us.
our WRFN listeners and 1620 audience, we thank you for checking out the best team in radio. Again, I know you guys in the Pennsylvania market, make a trip, get in the car. It's summertime. Come support black cinema, black business.
Come up to Harlem for a
Remember,
couple
That's
and,
it. Come
and
on.
drinks after.
Yeah, after party.
get
Don't forget
parties
about the after
after.
party, y'all.
What's the
Yeah.
name of the drink?
And wear clean drawers.
Cavassier and effing vodka.
There it is.
vodka.
Effing
So
vodka.
that means you'll be spending the night in New York because if you drive back from Jersey, you're getting arrested.
Right.
And for the people who don't drink, we also have QD3 Quincy Jones and his son that sponsored it. Also
That's
sponsored
right.
all-
Yes.
Oh, that's for me. That's for me.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't drink.
Robert
Okay.
Tuss in the
so you
glass.
got the Phil Rich water.
Yes, we got the Phil Rich water. We got that. We didn't forget that. We didn't forget that.
So we do have a water sponsor, and we also have a beer sponsor, which is Harlem Brewing Company, which is a black woman, black-owned Harlem
Nice.
Brewing Company.
I talked to you offline about that on my day job, Dallas. We got to
Let's kick it.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, her stuff is good.
One more time, give your social media information.
My social media information is. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any social media information. I'm scared of social media.
But that's why I just have.
We'll have some by next week.
I am scared of social media. Yes.
And the man took that away from you too.
I mean, you can hit me up, Dallas Alexis across the board, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also the Urban Web Summit across the board, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the Urban Web Summit.
Good.
All right, you can hit up James Goodwin at Facebook and Hip Hop Film Festival. Actually, we have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram, across the board, Twitter, all of that. Hip Hop Film Festival, HHFF.
Fellas, thank you again. We're going to do this again real soon.